Namaste. My name is Justin Chugg, and today we're going to be talking about referral partners. Business is always easier with referral partners. We're always looking for them, and oftentimes we miss some of the better referral partners because we're not looking in the right places. And that's one of the reasons why we're talking about collection agencies. Now, when it comes to referral partners, usually collection agencies aren't the first types of referral partners that come to mind. So why are we talking about them, and why are they a good fit? So I'm so glad you asked that question. So one of the main reasons why we work with collection agencies is because they work in the B2B space. Not only do they work in the B2B space, but they work with call centers. So if we're trying to work our way into contact centers, this is a great avenue to work with. And not only does it alleviate some of the prospecting burden by splitting up the list and the work efforts, but it also enables us to work with the types of prospects that have a high spend rate, which is really one of the main reasons why companies focus so much on contact centers. There's a lot of good opportunities in this space, and because collection agencies work with companies who also collect and work with, have different groups that go out and collect money, that's one of the reasons why we want to work with them. Another great opportunity with these guys, they're a great door opener. So typically it's harder to sell a contact center solution than it is to sell a collection solution. The reason being is collection solutions are pretty easy. A lot of times they work with different segments of customers. For instance, the company itself may work with some of their larger accounts that are not paying, and the collection agencies usually focus on the smaller orphan accounts that aren't getting attention. Or sometimes when there's a large volume rate, or that there's something internally where they just can't handle the volume, the collection agencies are designed to complement those services. And so they offer a great solution that complements and makes it easier to open doors, which is one of the reasons why, what we talked about on another call, it's better to lead with a product that opens doors than to lead with the product that you want to sell. And so when it comes to selling contact centers, you're going to get in front of more customers by talking about collection services than you are about selling contact center services. But the end goal is the same, because once you can have that conversation, you can go down the path of talking about contact centers. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. And that's another reason why it's great to work with collection agencies, is there's no conflict of interest. So when you're looking for a good referral partner, you're looking for somebody where you're not going to be stepping on each other's toes. And because they have a great product that opens doors for you, and they can help you in the prospecting efforts, this is one of the main reasons why we want to work with these folks. It's a perfect fit. Because if you can help them economize their contact center, help improve the efficiency, the workforce optimization, while the collection agency can help them figure out how to optimize some of their lost accounts or orphan accounts, it really works well together to help optimize the whole business. Now, when it comes to working with collection agencies, you usually want to work with companies who are experiencing challenges. So in this case, if you go to Ensable.com/data, in the business filter section, you can look for companies who are laying off, restructuring, or experiencing downturn. You can select those three types of events and identify companies. You can layer on additional filters like geography or industry or anything else. But this is a good place to start because, for one, these companies are more open to change. Also, they've experienced a headcount drop, and so they're trying to do the same amount of output with less people, and helping them collect cash in these types of instances is really top of mind for them. And so this really creates the perfect opportunity for you to work with a collection agency to target the right types of companies. Also, collection agents are a great member to add to your lead exchange if you haven't set up a lead exchange. Essentially what it is, it's a formal, more advanced version of a referral relationship. So when we're talking about referral partners, you want to form a lead exchange, which is essentially adding more accountability to just traditional referral partners. The main difference is with referral partners, you can send business back and forth whenever it comes up. But with a lead exchange, you work together in prospecting and going after clients. And that's really what we're trying to accomplish with any type of referral relationship, where you're going to market together as a team. And so if you were to pull a list of these companies who are experiencing downturns, essentially you would split up the list between the different lead exchange members and go to market. In this case, we're going to be focusing on finance individuals, so folks that are trying to collect the money, maybe they don't have the manpower. If you were emailing them, in this case, I would recommend emailing them as a group. So the members of your lead exchange would all be copied on this email. You would say something like this. Subject line would say a few ideas, and then the body could say something like, I heard about the recent changes at that company and wanted to see if we could help. So obviously if there was bankruptcy or something that's pretty significant or a massive layoff, this is what that challenge would be referring to. Later you would say, I've put together a dream team of business experts. We have a few ideas we'd like to run by you and maybe run a few experiments. If you're open to it, let me know. So again, we're trying to keep it open-ended. We're not giving a lot of information in the email up front. If you give too much information up front, they'll make the decision without talking to you. So you want to kind of make it somewhat generic, but also open-ended so that you pique their interest enough to have a conversation. But the conversation is the end goal here. Now, if you're working with a lead exchange, you may also want to add an accountant because they can help you with some of these things, business consultant. If you remember our last call about tax credits, it's one of the reasons why we want to bring an accountant here because they may help with the whole overall strategy. Obviously, the business consultant can do that as well. But if each member of the lead exchange is working 2 hours a day in outbound calls or outbound emails, that's a full 8-hour workday of outbound prospecting, which is why we want to form a lead exchange using multiple members that can complement each other. Also, if you don't have time to do 2 hours of prospecting, you can always hire an executive assistant. Typically, it's going to cost between $5 to $10 an hour if you hire abroad. They don't have to be a fluent English speaker. They just have to be able to understand the emails, run through the sales plays that you put together for them, and essentially go from there. But typically, it could run around $300 a month full-time if you split up the cost among the different members of your team and have them kind of run it for you and essentially have them focus on setting appointments for the team. Now, that's everything for today, so hopefully that made sense. Basically, we want to work with collection agencies because they complement what we do really well, and they also open the door for a lot of call center opportunities because they work with groups that are trying to collect money, which is typically executed through a contact center environment, but they complement them rather than compete with them. But they're also doing they add a lot of value, but ultimately the reason why we want to work with them is because they open doors more easily than just reaching out to companies about traditional contact centers because the companies are more open to that. Again, we also want to focus on companies that are experiencing downturn because they're more open to collecting money and having a company that kind of specializes in that to help them do that. So with that, we'll go ahead and shut it down. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us directly. The next time we meet, 2 weeks from today, we'll be talking about how to convert website visitors into sales using different analytics tools. And so that's something a lot of companies have not yet fully implemented. And so we'll talk about how to do something like that. But again, thanks everyone for joining us today. And we look forward to seeing you on our next call. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend and have a great Valentine's. Bye-bye.